Yo, what's good, my people? Welcome back to MAIM Time, the podcast about self-actualization and embracing our full identities as part of the Asian diaspora. It's been a minute, but I'm back. 5 years since I first hit record or since I first published this podcast. And today I want to catch y'all up on where I've been, where I'm going, and what it means to start over again in America. Let's get back into it.
You know what time it is? It's MAIM time.
Hey everyone, MAIM Time is back. It's been a long time coming hard. This episode is going to be a big life update. 5 years ago, I started MAIM Time, February 2020, right before the world flipped upside down. 5 years later, I'm back in America, starting over. Let's talk about it. I'm living in San Diego now. I've started a new chapter in America's finest city. I left Korea at the end of March 2024, having lived there for 11 years. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Moving there to start a new life was the best decision of my life. I'm super grateful to all the people I met, even if it was just for a day. It's bittersweet. Thanks to all who showed up to my last-minute ass going away BRB party in March right before I left. All the people who have loved and supported me. Korea gave me a home, shaped me, and now, even from across the ocean, it's still part of me more than it was when I was just a straight-up banana Twinkie before I moved there to get in touch with my roots and all that. Leaving wasn't easy, but I had to, and I still carry it with me. Korea shaped me, but at some point, it became a cage as much as it was a home. I needed to break out. This episode's just going to be a cheeky stream of consciousness, so bear with me. Part update on my life leaving Seoul, Korea to move to San Diego, USA, and what I've been up to. It wasn't easy to leave, but I needed to come back to America and start over fresh. There's a bunch of reasons I left, but I was getting stagnant. Korea has a lot of distractions if you've ever lived there, and I'm easily distracted. It's been almost a year since I got back to America. I've started a new life again in my early 30s. Like, who does that? Who does this? Who goes back to their country of origin, spends their 20s there, their 20s there, and then moves back to America in their 30s to start all over again? A bum like me, apparently. Back in America, in sunny San Diego, of all places, reverse culture shock is not the right word. It's just totally different from living in an Asian metropolis like Seoul. You can't just hop on a bus, train, or taxi to go anywhere. You really need to drive your own car to move and do stuff. But people actually smile and say hi back when you greet them in the street or out and about in public. That's one thing I missed most about America. It's weird. I never thought I'd be back in America, especially America's finest city this soon, I suppose, even though, 11 years is not a short time. And also, I didn't think I would be back in arguably America's most expensive city. It's awesome. I do hope you all get to visit one day, but do you guys know about this freaking place? No, it's not San Francisco. That's up north. That's NorCal. This is SoCal. Just look at a map of California. Can't get any more SoCal than this. 2.5 hours south of LA, less than 30 minutes from the border to Mexico. I'll put in a cheeky news article link about how expensive the real estate is, or how expensive it is to live in this city. I'm talking $20 sandwiches, homes averaging $1 million. Imagine being an immigrant, like from Vietnam or Mexico, coming to San Diego for the privilege of paying $20 sandwiches, depending on the restaurant you go to. I'm just joking, but not really. That there's some restaurants where the sandwich is like, $16 to $20. And what would our ancestors think? So yeah, in just a few months of coming back to America, got a job. Well, my brother gave me a job. I'm working in his business, working in the family business, and I got a driver's license. I learned to ride a bike, 32 years old, and learning life basics like an NPC who's fallen behind in life playing catch up. Working in the family business, lowest on the totem pole, and honestly, it's great. No distractions, just discipline. Okay, maybe there's some distractions, but I try to keep it in rein, keep it in check. I'm waking up at 5, going to bed around 8 to 9 p.m., trying to get my shit together, saving money, and I'm still who I am. Moving to Korea helped me in a lot of ways to figure out who I am and come to terms with my identity. It's always a work in progress, but I believe in progress. Progress has been made. I'm Korean, I'm American. I'm not 100% one or the other thing, if you even bother to quantify such a thing in percentages. All those things have equipped me the way that I've grown up, in my particular life circumstances. I have all the raw data and mistakes and failures of my 20s to process, so I can live a killer decade in my 30s. But I'm not gonna lie, it's been hard, fam, and it's still a long, hard road ahead. In life, if you're real with yourself, you gotta take a hard look in the mirror at yourself, and you haven't really lived until you've hit rock bottom. Rock bottom isn't just a place. It's when you try to cry, but nothing comes out. When you want to scream, but all you do is stare at the ceiling. And even then, you get up, you move forward when you really don't have a choice. And I can't complain because I signed up for this. This is no one else's fault but my own. I gotta take total responsibility for my life and do my best. Ultimately, there's no one to blame but myself, and I'm lucky. I could be out on the streets, I could be homeless, I could not have a family or a support system or network that I do. I don't really know where I'm going with this, or I don't know where to take this podcast at times. I go away from it for a while, but then I always come back because you're calling me, because I feel like this is for me. I have to do this from time to time. I'm living my life and I'm doing my thing and I'm trying to figure stuff out and just take care of business, just spending time with family and working. And, I don't know if this is your first time listening or like you've been listening since I first started this podcast, but everything I believe or the things that I say, I still believe to be true. Everything still remains true. It's like about honor to the ancestors, and just focus on what needs to get done. You do what you got to do. I don't know. I've said some crazy shit in the past. I'm like, God, I hope my listeners are smarter and more competent people than I am. So for now, I've just been focusing on family and work. That's why I haven't had time to work on my podcast, just adjusting to life back in America, and, this is a podcast. Like sometimes I just don't feel like, is this supposed to be, am I supposed to be guiding people? Like, am I supposed to be a leader? I'm just trying to share my experiences, but at times I don't really feel like I have any authority when, sometimes I struggle to get my shit together and I'm just working on myself. So who am I to be telling other people to say, I don't know, how to live their lives? So sometimes it's tricky to find that balance. Like, I want to be raw and authentic with you guys and let you know sometimes like I don't have my shit together. But I hope you find, what I'm saying of value in some way, and I believe these things are true. And that is like, try not to get distracted and figure out what you want to do, utilize your networks. They say you should go all in with your passion. Go all in on your passion, and maybe I'd transition at some point into doing the podcast thing full time. I feel like I get stuck in loops, and I've just come to accept it for now. I'm focused on just increasing my value and effectiveness at my current job, building money, and that's where my attention needs to be for now, and with family. So this is just my life situation right now. I don't have a lot of time to do other stuff or go partying or even like hang out with friends and go on adventures or go travel as much as I'd like to. I've been hunkering down, fam. And that's just what I gotta do for a while. And yeah, no matter how hopeless the situation is, if you're going through a rough time, I went through a very rough time last year, fam. Coming back to America. No matter how hopeless the situation is, take action. Every day is a step towards redemption, salvation. Never give up hope. Even in a world where sandwiches are $20 with tax and tip included. Keep saving, keep figuring things out, I guess. Provide value in this society, because what other choice do we have but to survive? And we have to survive. Why not thrive? Why not? We might as well. You get some shitty cards, so you still got to play the game, right? What would our ancestors do? This is still America. This is still the land of opportunity. And this is a huge sea compared to the kimchi pond I just left. I never wanted to come back to live in America this soon, I guess. I was really enjoying my life in Korea, in Asia. And I might still go back at some point in the future, but I needed this badly. Everything happens for a reason. It's cliche, but I do believe that. It's been humbling. I needed to be humbled and get a hard dose of reality. Well, you might say this ain't even hard, America, California, so much high tax. Why would I do that when I can just live in Asia? Roam the world as a 21st century Renaissance man and be a digital nomad, global citizen, god, and whatever, mate. And, take advantage of my Asian American privilege as a, sort of passport bro, earning dollars, getting way more bang for the buck in terms of everything. Again, I still believe, there are advantages to being that, to, being an individual growing up in the West, and say, going back. I do want to go back and live in Asia at some point, or at least visit more often. I still feel the call of the Orient. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know where I'll be indefinitely in the future, but I am building my foundation here in Southern California. My family's here, and in the end, isn't family, one of the most important things, right? Especially as being of Asian Confucian heritage. So, as always, I'm humbled and grateful to be part of the greatest country in the world. This is random, but I saw in the news last year, there are Chinese people who have packed up their whole lives, liquidated all their assets, and put on suits to walk in the desert to cross the border from Mexico into the USA, into San Diego. I could be them. You could be them. We could be, if you're listening to this, right, maybe, what am I trying to say? There's people who would love to be here, but they're stuck in China, right? And there's people who again, sold everything, and because they felt like they had no choice, and their best bet was to just go through the route of smuggling themselves internationally, and to start a life. Right? Like, you can look this up. You can look up. There's like Chinese people, right? Just like in like professional wear, right? Just trying to sneak, just trying to casually walk into America from Mexico. They fly to Mexico because they can't get a visa to come to America. If you get it, how crazy is that? Life is crazy, and this is just one example of how people risk everything to get here to America. Some people walk through deserts, some smuggle themselves across oceans, and me, I had the privilege of choice. Well, no, I didn't have the choice of coming here to America. I mean, but like, I have the privilege of coming back to America, even if after I move abroad, because it's my parents who made the sacrifice, who made the decision, so we were lucky. My point is that I'm humbled, and I'm grateful. That makes me grateful. So here I am back in America, and I'm thinking, what would my Asian ancestors do? What would the founding fathers do? I want to live a life that honors them, that makes me proud to be Korean, proud to be Asian, proud to be American. I want to sail off into the retrowave glowing purple-orange sunset after finishing an epic, heroic journey where I've slayed the dragon and the Jedi blue ghosts of King Sejong the Great and Confucius and George Washington, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Look at me with pride, respect, love, all that good stuff. America, I'm back, and I love you. And that is all I'm going to say for today. Thank you so much for listening. That's a wrap on this episode of MAIM Time. 5 years, one wild journey. I never thought I'd be back in America, but here I am, figuring it out one day at a time. If this episode resonated with you, hit me up. I want to hear your thoughts. You can follow me on MAIM Time. You can follow me at MAIM Time on Instagram, or email me at mime@mimetime.com. That's MAIMTIME. And support the show by sharing it with someone who needs to hear this. MAIM Time is back, baby. Let's keep building. Let's keep striving. Much love. And as always, honor to the ancestors. See y'all next time. MAIM Time.